The more they learned, the more it became clear that the truth was hidden behind layers of secrecy and silence, guarded by puzzles and protective measures. The nebula was not only a graveyard of history but a test for anyone brave enough to seek far, beyond the bright stars of the known galaxy. In a quiet corner where few dared to explore, an alien archaeologist named Lyra discovered something extraordinary, an ancient star map unlike any other. It was hidden deep within the ruins of a forgotten planet covered by layers of dust and silence. The map pointed to a mysterious place called the Silent Nebula, a region surrounded by swirling clouds of dark gas and silence, where no ship had safely traveled in centuries. Legends from many alien worlds whispered of the Ancient Ones, a race of beings who once shaped the destinies of countless civilizations but vanished without a trace. These stories were always told with a mix of fear and respect, as if the Ancient Ones were both creators and warnings. Curious and driven by the desire to understand the truth, Lyra formed a small team, a group of explorers, historians, and translators, each expert in their own way. Together, they prepared their ship for the journey into the unknown, feeling the weight of history and mystery pressing down on them. As they crossed the edge of the Silent Nebula, strange signals began to appear on their instruments, faint, pulsing patterns that felt almost like a call from the past. Following these signals, the team found a ruined space station floating silently, its metal hull cracked and covered in strange symbols that seemed both alien and familiar. Inside, they discovered a data core still barely alive, filled with encrypted messages from a species lost to time. The messages spoke of a radiant race, powerful and wise, who walked the stars long before any current civilization. What struck the team was the uncanny way these beings were described, their resilience, their ability to learn quickly, and their unyielding spirit. Lyra's xenolinguist, a quiet and brilliant scholar named John, noticed that some symbols resembled ancient human alphabets, sparking a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Could it be possible that humans, thought to be young and isolated on Earth, were actually the Ancient Ones spoken of in these legends? The data core also contained DNA fragments, and when analyzed, they showed a pattern matching that of humanity. This discovery rocked the team's understanding of history. The notion that humans had left Earth long ago, influencing alien civilizations and then disappearing, was something no one had imagined. As they searched deeper in the station, they found a secret vault, hidden behind layers of security systems designed to last millennia. Inside were holographic records and relics, ancient devices of technology far beyond anything known today, but created with unmistakable human design. The holograms told stories of explorers who left Earth thousands of years ago, not as conquerors, but as teachers. They shared knowledge with other species, helping them grow and survive without interfering with their natural development. This ancient humanity was remembered across galaxies as the Ancient Ones, beings who had shaped the stars, quietly and wisely. Back on Earth, the news of these findings traveled fast, sending waves of wonder and uncertainty throughout humanity. For centuries, humans believed themselves alone or insignificant in the vast cosmos, but now they learned they were once a great and respected force. Some celebrated this revelation with pride, eager to reclaim their place among the stars. Others met it with fear, worried that returning to the galactic stage might bring danger or conflict. Political leaders debated whether humanity should seek allies or prepare defenses. Meanwhile, secret groups began to act, some wanting to control the new power hidden in the ancient knowledge, others trying to keep the truth hidden from the public. The explorers, now back from their journey, faced challenges from these hidden forces, unsure who to trust. Yet, they felt a strong responsibility to share what they had learned. Humanity was no longer just a young species struggling on a blue planet. It was the key to understanding much of the galaxy's past and future. As humans, and their alien, friends began to study the advanced technology found in the vault. They unlocked new possibilities, ways to travel faster, to heal, and to communicate across vast distances. Old rivalries started to fade as species worked together, inspired by the idea that their histories were connected. Humanity's spirit of curiosity and determination shone brightly, reminding everyone that survival and growth came from learning, adapting, and helping others. The Silent Nebula, once a place of fear and mystery, became a symbol of hope and unity. The Ancient Ones were no longer just a legend. They were a living part of the galaxy's story, guiding future generations toward a brighter future. And so, humanity stepped forward not as conquerors but as partners and protectors, ready to write new chapters among the stars, chapters filled with friendship, discovery, and the endless wonder of the universe. The journey was just beginning, but the past had already spoken loud enough to remind everyone that sometimes the greatest power lies in remembering where you came from and using that knowledge to build something better. Far beyond the bright lights of the known galaxies, in a region where even the most experienced explorers rarely ventured, Lyra, an alien archaeologist with a deep love for mysteries of the past, made a discovery that would change everything. On a small dusty planet forgotten by time, she found ancient star maps carved into massive stone slabs hidden beneath layers of rock and sand. These maps were unlike anything recorded in any database or museum across the galaxies. Each map pointed toward the same mysterious place, a sector of space shrouded in thick, swirling clouds of gas and dust that few ships dared to enter. The locals of the nearby worlds called this area the Silent Nebula, because no signals or transmissions were ever received from there for hundreds of years. What caught Lyra's attention even more was the stories told in hushed voices by the star system's inhabitants. Stories about the Ancient Ones. These beings, spoken of in legends, were said to be far older than any known civilization, possessing knowledge and power that helped shape the cultures of many worlds long ago, before they vanished suddenly and without explanation. The legends described the Ancient Ones as mysterious and powerful, sometimes feared, sometimes worshipped, but always respected. The question of who they really were and what happened to them had haunted civilizations for generations. Driven by curiosity and a hunger for truth, Lyra knew she had to investigate. She carefully collected fragments of the maps and artifacts from the site and returned to her ship, a sleek vessel equipped with the latest technology and tools for exploration and decoding ancient languages. Lyra reached out to experts from various fields, assembling a team with skills that would complement her own. There was John, a quiet but brilliant xenolinguist, whose knowledge of extinct languages was unmatched. A historian named Tessa joined the group, with her expertise in ancient civilizations and cultural patterns. The team also included a skilled pilot, Rin, who had experience navigating dangerous and uncharted regions of space, and a tech specialist, Mina, who could hack into almost any ancient device and retrieve lost information. As the team gathered, excitement mixed with tension filled the air. Each member knew the risks. Traveling into the Silent Nebula was dangerous, with the possibility of never returning. Yet, the chance to uncover the truth about the Ancient Ones was too important to ignore. Once aboard the ship, the maps were pieced together carefully, revealing a path through the nebula's dangerous clouds. They showed signs of forgotten outposts, ancient stations, and possible relic sites scattered along the way. But the maps also had warnings, cryptic symbols that hinted at dangers, traps, or forgotten powers that guarded the secrets of the past. As the ship entered the Silent Nebula, the familiar stars faded behind the thick clouds, and an eerie silence enveloped the crew. Their instruments began to pick up strange signals, low rhythmic pulses that didn't match any known language or code. The signal seemed almost like a call or a message waiting to be understood. The crew worked together day and night, trying to decode the mysterious transmissions while navigating the unpredictable currents of gas and magnetic storms within the nebula. With each discovery, the tension grew, as if the nebula itself was watching, testing their resolve. Suddenly, the sensors picked up a massive structure floating silently in space, an enormous, ancient space station, broken and covered in layers of cosmic dust and debris. It was unlike any design they had seen before, with shapes and symbols that reminded John of the maps and the stories about the Ancient Ones. The station's systems were barely alive, but they emitted a faint glow of power, as if waiting for someone to awaken them. Inside the station, the team found ruins filled with strange technology and artifacts. Among the relics were star charts etched on metal plates, tools made of materials unknown to modern science, and mysterious devices. that hummed softly in the shadows. The walls were covered with carvings depicting beings that looked similar to humans, but with features that were both alien and familiar. These images matched the descriptions in the ancient legends. They were indeed the Ancient Ones, and their presence was real, not just myth. The team felt a mixture of awe and fear. They were standing in a place where history had stopped, where the story of these lost beings waited to be told. But questions flooded their minds. Why had the Ancient Ones disappeared? What was the purpose of this station? And were they alone in seeking these secrets? These choices had led to a self-imposed exile, a decision to remain hidden until the galaxy was ready to embrace the truth. Lyra felt the weight of these revelations. Recovering these would be crucial to understanding humanity's full story and ensuring the safety of future generations. As they prepared to leave the vault, the team also discovered a message left specifically for those who might find the vault one day. It was a call to continue the mission of peace and growth, a reminder that true strength lay not in domination, but in unity and knowledge shared freely. This message resonated deeply with the explorers, reminding them of their purpose and the responsibility now resting on their shoulders. The discovery of humanity's lost legacy sent ripples of excitement and awe through the crew, but it also filled them with a quiet fear. They had uncovered secrets that some might seek to control or destroy. The delicate balance of power in the galaxy could be disrupted if these truths fell into the wrong hands. Lyra and her team realized they would need allies and wisdom to protect and share what they had found. The holograms faded as the last projector powered down, leaving the vault in silence once more. But the echoes of the past whispered through the chamber, urging the explorers forward. Humanity was no longer just a species living quietly on a small planet. It was a beacon of hope, a guide for civilizations still finding their way in the darkness of space. The team stepped back into the unknown, determined to follow the trail of the Ancient Ones and bring light to the forgotten corners of the galaxy. The adventure was far from over, but with each discovery the future grew brighter. Humanity's story was not lost, only waiting to be remembered. The news of the expedition's remarkable discovery traveled faster than anyone expected, reaching Earth's major cities and distant colonies alike in a wave of astonishment and excitement. For the first time in centuries, humanity was confronted with undeniable proof that their ancestors had not only looked up at the stars with wonder, but had ventured beyond the solar system, leaving an ancient legacy that had quietly influenced countless alien civilizations. Governments and leaders around the world scrambled to respond, their reactions a mix of awe, pride, and deep skepticism. Some saw this revelation as a call to unite humanity under a single, grand vision, reclaim their place among the stars as rightful members of the galactic community. News outlets buzzed with debates, scientific forums overflowed with theories, and the public's imagination soared with dreams of rediscovery and new frontiers. Yet, not all voices were hopeful. Within the shadows of political corridors and powerful organizations, whispers of caution grew louder. There were factions who feared that humanity's sudden return to the galactic stage could disrupt the fragile balance of power that had been carefully maintained for generations. These groups, both human and alien, saw the emerging influence of humanity as a threat to their control, and they began plotting behind closed doors, weaving a web of political intrigue and subtle manipulation designed to slow or even stop the renewed space exploration efforts. The coalition of nations and alien allies pushing for expansion knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges beyond mere technical and scientific hurdles. As the expedition team returned to Earth, they found themselves at the center of a storm where diplomacy and distrust were as dangerous as any unknown alien threat. Lyra and her team were hailed as heroes by many, but regarded with suspicion by others who questioned their intentions or feared what uncovering the ancient human legacy might unleash. Their mission had evolved from exploration into a complex game of survival where trust was fragile and enemies often hid behind friendly faces. The explorers had to navigate secret meetings, coded messages, and sudden shifts in alliances as they worked to secure support for their cause. The stakes were higher than ever because the truth about humanity's past had the power not only to unite but to divide. Meanwhile, as governments debated and conspiracies unfolded, the public's fascination only grew. People across Earth and distant colonies looked to the stars with renewed hope, inspired by the idea that humanity's future was brighter than ever before. Educational institutions and research centers received new funding. Technology firms accelerated their space programs, and young people dreamed of joining the next great voyage into the cosmos. But beneath the excitement lurked the harsh reality that old fears and rivalries still lingered. Some leaders worried about how other powerful alien civilizations would react to humanity's resurgence, and whether long-hidden enemies might take advantage of the upheaval to strike. The expedition team, though weary from their journey, understood they had become symbols of something much larger than themselves. Their discoveries had reopened ancient wounds and ignited ambitions that could either bring peace or ignite conflict. As they prepared for the next phase of their mission, to seek out the scattered relics and knowledge left by the Ancient Ones, they knew they would face dangers not only in the depths of space, but in the political arenas of their own world. Lyra often found herself reflecting on the delicate balance between hope and fear, progress and caution. The silent nebula and the secrets it held were no longer distant mysteries. They were intertwined with humanity's destiny. Bravery and intelligence, but wisdom and unity. The rising shadows of doubt and ambition challenged the explorers to be more than scientists and historians. They had to become diplomats, warriors, and guardians of a legacy that could change everything. Every decision, every alliance, and every discovery carried the weight of the future. The galaxy was watching, and humanity's next steps would echo far beyond their own world. As the political games unfolded and the coalition struggled to maintain order, Lyra and her team prepared to journey once more into the unknown, driven by the belief that uncovering the full story of the Ancient Ones could heal old wounds and light the way to a new era of peace and understanding. The excitement and danger mingled in the air like a storm waiting to break, and the explorers knew that their greatest challenge was yet to come. The secrets of humanity's lost legacy were not just history. They were the key to the future, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The moment had finally come when humanity, after centuries of searching and struggle, began to step forward and truly embrace its ancient heritage, a legacy hidden deep within the stars, but now brought back to light by the courage and dedication of explorers like Lyra and her team. The knowledge uncovered in the vault was more than just history. It was a treasure trove of advanced technologies, scientific breakthroughs, and timeless wisdom that promised to change the course of human civilization and the galaxy itself. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly, decoding the secrets left behind by the Ancient Ones, and soon new technologies emerged that far surpassed anything previously imagined. These innovations were not tools of war or domination, but devices designed to heal planets, improve communication, and foster understanding between species. It became clear that the Ancient Ones had intended their knowledge to be used as a foundation for peace and cooperation, a gift meant to unite rather than divide. With this newfound power, humanity reached out to its alien allies with renewed confidence and a sincere desire to build lasting partnerships. The coalition formed during the earlier days of discovery grew stronger and more inclusive, bringing together species from distant corners of the galaxy who shared a common hope for a future free from conflict and fear. Together, they worked to establish a council where decisions would be made collectively, respecting the diversity and histories of all members. As humanity and its allies prepared to chart bold new paths through space, the old fears and rivalries that once threatened to fracture the galaxy began to fade, replaced by a cautious optimism and a shared sense of purpose. The legends of the UTUA Ancient Ones, once whispered only in secret, now became a beacon of hope and inspiration, a reminder of what could be achieved through resilience, curiosity, and an unyielding spirit. Stories of the Ancient Ones' wisdom and sacrifice spread far and wide, inspiring young explorers, thinkers, and leaders to carry forward the legacy with humility and courage. Yet, the journey was not without challenges. There were still mysteries left to solve, hidden dangers lurking in unexplored regions, and the constant need to balance progress with responsibility. Lyra often reflected on how fragile this new era truly was, and how easily it could be undone by greed or misunderstanding. But she also saw the strength in humanity's willingness to learn from its past, to rise above old mistakes, and to embrace the unknown with open hearts and minds. The team continued their expeditions, following clues left by the Ancient Ones, discovering more relics, and deepening the bonds with alien civilizations. Each new discovery added pieces to the grand puzzle of the galaxy's history and opened doors to possibilities that once seemed like dreams. The unity between species brought innovations in medicine, energy, and culture that enriched every corner of their expanding community. As the stars shimmered above, the galaxy felt alive with promise. For the first time in millennia, humanity was no longer alone or forgotten but a vital part of a greater whole, respected and valued for its unique contributions. The legacy of the Ancient Ones was no longer buried in silence, but lived in the hearts of all who looked to the future with hope. Lyra stood on the observation deck of their flagship, gazing out at the endless expanse of space, feeling a deep sense of peace mixed with anticipation. She knew that the path ahead would be filled with unknowns and trials, but she also believed that humanity and its allies were ready. They were not conquerors seeking power, but guardians of knowledge and stewards of a new era. The galaxy was awakening, and with it the dawn of a new chapter for all life. In this moment, the past and future merged, and the stories of the Ancient Ones became more than myths. They became a living truth, guiding humanity's journey through the stars, and reminding everyone that the greatest strength lies in unity, courage, and the endless pursuit of understanding.